Buccateers podcast. Let's do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers at wide receiver, Kaylon Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Beat Buck.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, you are tuned into the Buccateers podcast live on our YouTube, and live on Bucks Life Media, Facebook as well. I'm your host, Tampa Tones. We're joined by a very, very special guest today. We'll bring him in here shortly, but we're also joined by the co-captain, Mr. Stunna. Stunna, how you doing today, my friend? Another beautiful day for you, or how's Tampa shaking?
Oh, man, another beautiful day in Tampa with the Monday Night Raw last night representing for the 813. Let's get it.
Hell, I heard Pat Maroon was there, and obviously Pat Maroon, one of the better Lightning players. He was sitting right behind the Raw broadcast booth, and they were saying he was getting so into it, man. He was about to strangle one of the Raw announcers, Corey Graves, but that's just great. Tampa Bay Lightning getting into it, Pat Maroon. Glad you had a great time. Nonetheless, we have special guest Kaylon Geiger here, as you guys heard from the intro. I hope I got the intro. I think I might have botched the recording a little bit. That's on me. But nonetheless, we're here with wide receiver Kaylon Geiger, UDFA, hell of an athlete, started at Troy, went to Texas Tech in college, found himself as a UDFA, ended up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And ladies and gentlemen, this guy can straight out fly. He's a jack of all trades. He returned a little bit for Texas Tech last year. He had a couple of carries as well. 12 carries to be exact on the ground because he's known for his speed and quickness. And he was the second leading receiver in his first year at Texas Tech, ladies and gentlemen. This guy could put on a show, and believe me, for better or for worse, I watched a lot of Texas Tech games last year. Kaylon Geiger, my friend, appreciate you joining. Kaylon Geiger Sr., let me not forget the senior there. We do know you have a beautiful family with some little ones. We appreciate you carving out some time of your busy schedule. Let the people know where they can get at you on Twitter and the likes of Instagram and whatnot.
Yeah, man. I first want to start out by saying I appreciate y'all for having me on, man. Appreciate the opportunity for this, you know what I'm saying, to speak out on my story and whatnot. Everybody can find me on all my social medias. It's just Kaylon Geiger 3. Just find me, click me, follow me. I'll follow you right
Pretty
back.
easy, man. I know it was easy for me right when you signed with us. You know, I'm like, this guy intrigues me. I'm going to follow him, going to check him out a little bit, you know, watch some film right away. And we'll get into your college journey and your journey all together in a little bit. And we do know UDFAs keep becoming more of a prevalent thing in the NFL. We could go on and on about all the big ones. There have been particularly Austin Eckler and the likes of that. We interviewed 3 Buccaneers UDFA just a few short years ago who all ended up winning Super Bowl rings with us. Nick Leverett, Javon Hogan, and Joshua Pearson. So that was a lot of fun, and we hope we can be saying the same when this year's said and done. Super Bowl champion Kaylon Geiger Sr. with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That would be tremendous. So, Kaylon, we want to ask you real quick before we really get into your journey and whatnot. You had a little bit of time with the team to this point. How is team interaction, and how is being around the Buccaneers, obviously, with Tom Brady leading the way at the quarterback position? Is it surreal still a little bit to be sharing a field with the GOAT, or have you gotten used to it by now already?
Yeah, for sure, man. It's been great. In this position, you got to get used to it pretty quick. It can't be excited and whatnot when we on the field. But yeah, it's definitely been surreal. Just watching them throw, man, from seeing them on TV winning Super Bowls to him throwing me a football, like it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, man, and just being in the locker room with the guys, everybody's so cool. Everybody got the same common goal. Everybody working hard. It's been pretty good. Even with the other rookies, we got a good relationship so far. It's just been great, man.
Yeah.
How is the coaching been out there? And is the NFL route tree similar to what you ran at T-Tech, or is it a little bit more complex?
That's a good question, man. I would say it's a little more routes. You know what I mean? Like it's just pretty much the same route tree, but a couple of things I haven't ran before, and the coaching is great, man. He's just talking to me, giving me some gems to come in and use right away, yeah, coach just been you've been a great dude so far, man. That's what I can say.
You got to run a lot more double moves in the league, or is it more like breaking routes at certain depths that changed?
Yeah, it's a lot more, man. It's the same route, but you can run it in 3 different ways, man. Just depending on the coverage, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The different depths, the route can turn to a whole different route depending on what the defense does. Like we did that in college, but not to this extent. You get what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the difference.
What's your
receivers got to read the defense basically in the league? Like you're the quarterback out there, you have to make the reads and
exactly. I gotta see what Tom Brady's seeing.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of being a speedster wide receiver? We know that's your name to fame. You're one of those guys who could fly. You got quick feet. You're 5'10", well under 200, and you just absolutely burn some defenders. And you could run the ball. You could return the ball. What element of the game is fun about kind of being the jack of all trades, the guy that can burn people, the guy that can slash and dash? Because we know in the NFL nowadays, that's the prominent thing to be, right? Everybody wants a guy who is quick. Everyone wants a guy who could make plays. So I could very well see you gelling so well into this Buccaneers offense.
Yeah, man, I would say the best takeaway from it is just being able to control it. You don't got to be fast all the time. You know what I mean? You can slow it down to other gears. Get what I'm saying? And speed it up and slow it down and speed it up and slow it down. So I guess that's the biggest advantage.
So do you see yourself? So you don't see yourself as a straight deep threat, but you think your agility helps you for separating from the defender, and you're like a route tree expert more than just a go route guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love running routes. Like I've been a slot and outside. You know what I'm saying? So I know pretty much both kind of fields. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I just love running routes, creating separation. I don't want to just go deep all the time. I want to make the defender look silly sometimes. You know what I mean? May think I'm going deep, and then I break it off to something else. Like I specialize in that. So.
And you've proven to be versatile in your career. Last year, you inserted the most snaps offensively out of any non-offensive lineman for Texas Tech in your first season in an offense, which is pretty impressive. And obviously, nowadays it's all about availability. So what's part of your, regime to stay on the field, to make sure you're in game day shape and to make sure you can keep contributing for your team? Because as we know nowadays, it ain't easy staying on the field, especially in college with, guys trying to make the pros. When should they play? When should they not play? You were on the field for a wowing 616 snaps offensively. So what helps you stay and make that 616 snaps?
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that, man. I would say meditating, doing yoga and things like that, man. I love that's something I picked up when I was at Troy, and I just been doing it ever since, man. Like it's really been helping me, my mind, my body, and everything like that. So I would say that's the biggest thing for me is just meditating, stretching my body out, talking to my body, stuff like that. So yeah.
So Kaylon, we talked a little bit about stamina, and if you're into pliability, definitely want to check out TB12. But we talked a little bit earlier about the NFL, training room and the weights and the speed is similar, but that training table is a little different. Can you tell our Buccateer audience what's the biggest change been for you as far as off-season conditioning program in the NFL compared to college?
Yeah, man. I think the biggest thing for me being in Florida, man, is the humidity. Yeah, it get rough. I was running today, man, and I was just drenched. You know what I mean? So
let me warn you, Kaylon, before you continue. In Florida, with the humidity, what will happen is you'll get heat exhaustion or heat stroke, and you won't even realize it because you sweat and the sweat doesn't evaporate. So you just keep sweating. That's why a lot of people that come here have to get IVs at halftime. Like that'll be a home field advantage for you when you adapt to it, because you will run out of fluid in your body and you'll dehydrate. You won't even realize it because of the heat and you're being active. But go ahead.
Yeah, right. Now it's funny that you say that, man. A lot of guys been saying that. Like, man, you better stay on that water. You better have some saved up, from when they run out of you. But yeah, man, I would say that's the thing. I thought it was hot in Texas, man. Get out here and we just just drenched. So yeah, but
this is a desert climate where Florida is like being in the Brazil
in the forest. Yeah,
rainforest. Yeah,
rainforest. Yeah. So, but no, it's been great, man. Like the running and everything. I love that though. I love having to adapt to stuff like that. Yeah. So.
And you said that the trainers are making your caloric intake go way up with the amount of food they're trying to give you and get your body built up that way as well.
Yeah.
I remember Eagles came to town. What was it? Done 04-05. Donovan McNabb started overheating, so he just started puking all over the field, man. It was they tried coming back, and then the Buccaneers went on to win that game with a 62-yard field goal by Matt Bryant to set NFL history. But I remember watching that game, McNabb getting sick on the field and whatnot. So heat exhaustion is a real thing, but I'm sure Kaylon is more than prepped for that throughout his way, obviously, coming from hot spots like a Texas and whatnot. And speaking about your journey, Kaylon, what ultimately made you decide to make the jump from Troy to Texas Tech? And let's hear a little bit about your journey and how you ended up at Troy as well, because Troy is one of those college football programs that I think over the years has become more established and whatnot. So what was it like getting to Troy, and then how did you make your way ultimately from Troy to Texas Tech?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I walked on at a junior college in Corsicana, Texas, Navarro. I was there for 2 years, and Troy was one of my offers that I earned, and it just felt right. I took a visit out there. I loved the atmosphere, I loved the history behind it, and just everything about it, really. So that's what got me to Troy. And why I moved to Tech, because I'm a Texas boy at the end of the day. Really, I just love Texas, man. But I was having my baby boy, and I wanted to get back around my family. I wanted my dad to see more games of me. It was my last year of college. It was a big step for me, but I had a lot of things. To take care of, and that was just my best decision that I could have made. Honestly.
Definitely. And again, if you guys are just tuning in, we are here with Buccaneers rookie wide receiver Kaylon Geiger Sr., former Texas Tech wide receiver. And before even Troy, before your decision to go to Troy, and that's a wonderful story, obviously, going to Texas, being a Texas boy, being close to your pops, having a kid just makes everything worth it. All the family in the world, it's always key to be close to family, especially at that age where you're going through so much, and you are looking, not that you want to look forward, but what's coming next, and you're really at a critical point in your career where it's like, I want to follow my dreams and play football, so I'm going to keep doing that. Or, do I try something else? We've seen some really good college athletes go the other way, but I think for the Bucs' benefit, we're really glad you did continue playing and continue your journey on. And I just want to get your take on draft preparation real quick, because drafted or not, you got to get all that work in. You got to bust your ass off. I know what it's like. I think Back in the COVID year, we interviewed over 50, 55 rookies trying to make it into the NFL. A couple of them got drafted. A couple of them ended up becoming UDFAs on rosters. How was that process prepping for the NFL draft? I'm sure it was like nothing other you've ever prepared for in your entire life, but I'm sure you handled it like you have all things to this point.
Right. It was a great experience, man. I actually was out here in Florida. I was in Fort Myers, training with X3 Performance. Guy hit me up on, I didn't know where I was going to train at or anything. I was trying to go to the desert or something, you know, just be on my Rocky mode, you know. But yeah, he hit me up on social media. He said he really wanted to train me, Jordan Lugan. So I went out to Fort Myers, man, for a couple months and just gave all I had. You know, it was a great experience. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of guys who got free agent deals also. We even got drafted, you know, and we was all fighting for the same thing. So that was a pretty good experience for me, man.
That's nice. Incredible. Stunning. Go ahead.
Hold on. Yes. Did you attend the combine in Indianapolis? Was that an invite type thing? Or
yeah, that was.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. My bad. Yeah, that was more of an invite thing. I just had a pro day at Tech.
Nice. And then, like you said at Fort Myers, these elite camps are pretty common in Florida. We have an IMG Academy, you know what I'm saying here, that specializes in that for people for getting drafted, and they have those all over Florida. I was going to ask how do you compare the culture in Tampa as compared to Arlington? I know it's not an on-field question, but how's it been, you know, as far as, you know, being Arlington and comparing it to how you are in Tampa now, and what about the Tampa community and our culture do you enjoy the most?
You said Arlington?
Yeah, isn't that where you're from, or what we talked about earlier? Your high school?
Yeah, no, I played Arlington high schools in high school, but I'm from Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth. Okay, nice. So Fort Worth is right outside Dallas.
Right.
So that's a big city type of, you know, suburb. And I'm sure that Tampa is probably a big city vibe as well. Is there any similarities to it, or is there any differences between the Dallas community and the Tampa community?
Yeah, honestly, man, since I've been in school, man, I only go back to Fort Worth to see my family, you know, and whatnot every blue moon, you know what I'm saying, when I can. So yeah, I've been gone for a minute, man. So but Fort Worth is a great town, you know. But since I've been here in Tampa, man, I've with the team, and we've been going to the military bases and seeing all the fans come out, just seeing people all around going around with the Bucks jerseys on, with the license plates, stuff like that. It's totally different, you know. We got the Cowboys, but you know what I mean, like nobody. Not at Fort Worth. You don't see that like every day. When I go outside, if I go outside right now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna see like a Bucks license plate or stuff like that. You know, it's not all over Fort Worth. So it's just in Dallas. You know what I mean?
No, we have a proud military community, and I would encourage you to go out to the air shows where they have the fighter pilots go out there and they put on air shows. It's just really nice.
Yeah, I bet.
Also, you know, you got to try Gasparilla, which is in January. Gaspo Parade is an awesome event. And then you really got to, you know, try a Cuban sandwich from Mercado's if you get a chance, if you're down there on 40th Street or whatever.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're talking to a Tampa local for a long time, and Stun, a season ticket holder for many years. He knows all the ins, outs, and abouts about the city of Tampa and what they could bring to the table. So if you ever need anything good to hear or good to eat, my man Stunna could hook you up in a hurry. But I want to revert more so real quick before we ask you some other questions about Tampa, perhaps, in your NFL journey. I want to hear a little bit more about your pre-college days. In high school, did you play any other sports, and how did it become football as your main sport? You know, I know it's an era where there's so many more sports to choose from, or activities nowadays, I guess. You know, you got things such as Major League Gaming even making it into a pretty big thing. You got multiple outlets of other entertainment like wrestling, like we talked about briefly. There's just so much things you could do as an athlete, I guess, nowadays. So how did football ultimately become the cream of the crop for you, and any other sports or entertainment or activities involved along the way?
Yeah, man. Since I was a child, man, I got like baby pictures with like football jerseys on, you know, stuff like that, you know. So I think football was just destined for me, honestly. my stepdad introduced me to football when I was very young. And I just been loving it ever since. You know, I went through the ups and downs of it. I wasn't the superstar, you know what I'm saying, baby superstar like they got nowadays, just running like 80 touchdowns a games and nothing like that. But I just love how the game made me feel, you know. But in high school, yeah, I played multiple sports. I played basketball, track. I wanted to do baseball, but I never got a chance to do that. But but yeah, I love basketball, man. I really love basketball. You know, I used to watch N1 Street Ball all the time,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. That helped me on my game still today. But yeah, I love basketball, just handling the rock and stuff like that. So that
Who's
was
your NBA squad, real quick, before you continue?
the Celtics.
Oh man, just fell short. Sorry to hear that, but don't worry, I'm a Bulls fan, so we've been used to that for the past 2 decades. So, anyways, carry on. I just wanted to see real quick, but good team to pick.
Nah, for sure, I appreciate it, man. But yeah, I love basketball, like I was saying. But it's the way football make me feel when I'm on the field, man. It's no other feeling, you know. It ain't even. It's not. I think it's the game itself, but just me being out there, you know, running and being with a team that's for the same cause, you know, like it don't. Football is it's a unique sport to me because all the pieces got to work for you to have success. You get what I mean? So
Right.
if the lineman not blocking, then the quarterback can't throw the ball to the receiver. You get what I'm saying? So it all works together. So I think just being around people, I'm an only child, so being with like brothers, you know what I'm saying, people who you call your brother, man, like it's different for me, you know. So I really love that part of the game.
Yeah, and the locker room is obviously a brotherhood, or a
Right.
sisterhood in women's sports. But I'm glad that you did ultimately choose football. And I know what you mean. I used to coach baseball, and stepping onto that field, you just get those hours away from everything, and there's just no feeling like being out there and being away. You're kind of in your own little element. I could only imagine, being a professional athlete, stepping on the football field. And I love that, you grew up around football with your pops, your stepdad. You said he got you into the game. That's how I was too. My pops, since a youngin, NFL Sunday Ticket was just glued to the TV every Sunday, and just grew up learning the game, watching the game, playing the game. Obviously, I didn't make it like you did, my friend. That's why I'm talking, and that's why you're playing. So we'll keep it like that. But nonetheless, still love the game and whatnot. So, what would you tell the youth looking to stay in the game of football? Because we know a lot of people perhaps might steer their kids in other directions, but if you could tell kids out there questioning to step on the gridiron or questioning to play the game of football, what would you tell them to stay? Hey, come on, keep playing, keep the sport alive like it should be.
Yeah, man, just believe in yourself. You know, that's the main thing. You know, no matter what nobody else is doing, don't compare to yourself to people or nothing like that, man. Just believe in yourself and do your best every single time. You know, you can only be you. You know, you can only do what you can do. You know, and you know that. So just believe in yourself and keep doing whatever you're doing, man. Because it's you can only try. You know, so
Yep.
just try your best and keep at it.
They get that confidence through their being successful, and you mentioned the team aspect is what you love most about football. How's the wide receiver room been with the Buccaneers, and how have they, is there any friendships you've developed, or is which guy's personality stand out the most, and has Mike Evans Foundation reached out to you to do any charity work or anything along those lines?
No, I haven't been reached out to for charity work. I hope so soon, though, because I'm down for that. But the receiver room, man, everybody been pretty cool. You know, everybody. I've been around the rookies the most. You know, since we all rookies. You know what I'm saying? Went through rookie mini camp and stuff like that. So that's who I've been chilling with mostly. And all those guys are great. You know, we all work together. You know, you could easily go somewhere and everybody to themselves and individuals. You know, and just trying to get to their goal. But you know what I'm saying? The guys that I'm around, man, it's just like brothers already. You know, and who stood out to me the most probably is Mike Evans. It's these just normal guys, man. Like you see them on TV. You know what I'm saying? Just being around them is just like, man, they're normal guys. You know what I'm saying? Genuine. You know what I'm saying? Respectful, stuff like that. So it's just great being around dudes like that.
And I got a chance to talk to new head coach Todd Bowles a little bit back in April at the Arians Family Foundation golf out, and we sponsored a hole, the Loose Cannons hole. Shout out to the Loose Cannons. But we were able to chat and catch up with some coaches and players and whatnot, and Todd Bowles was ecstatic. He was loving it. He was saying how he's blessed with this good of a chance, with this type of roster, with this type of football team, obviously. His first opportunity came with the Jets. It came with the team that, hasn't had the best luck the past couple decades, or they kind of put themselves in losing scenarios based on not the head coaches, but more so the front office. Because Todd did have a very good season there his first year with them with an underwhelming roster. So a lot different here in Tampa. We're quote unquote prepared to win. What have you noticed about this team? You've mentioned Mike Evans. You mentioned a guy like Tom Brady. I mean, you could go on and on with the electrifying names that are on this Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster. What makes this team so special, and how far do you think you guys can certainly go? I know Super Bowl is the end goal. It's a tough way to get there, but you guys could do it.
Yeah, I think with this team, we can definitely do it again. You know what I mean? Like it's the same team that they had, you know what I mean? So I think with this group of guys, man, everybody is together, everybody is cool with each other, like even the defensive guys, they know the offensive guys, you know what I mean? So I can even go talk. I'm a rookie, but I can go talk to a vet on defense, you know what I mean? And just say what's up and stuff like that. So I think that's very important, just getting to know each other off the field, stuff like that. Like I go up there and work out, and guys up there, we chop it up all the time. We chopping it up while we running, So I feel like that's important, to have on the team. And like I said, the Super Bowl again, man, that's the goal, like you said. And I think we're very capable of it.
And how cool of a cat is Todd Bowles? I know, you'll really get to know him here shortly in a couple weeks and whatnot when you guys are busting your ass out there and training camp and preseason and whatnot. But how well do you know Coach Bowles to this point, and how great of a guy is he?
He's a great guy, man. He be out there before we practice. I'm out there warming up. He'll walk by me, saying, give me a few words of encouragement before practice, stuff like that. So, the interactions that I've had with him so far has just been great. Pretty smooth dude. I like all the coaches, to be honest. Everybody just themselves and just cool. It's not overwhelming on anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's just handle your business. And I like that about the whole coaching staff.
Yeah, and shout out to some. We got Corey Hayes in the building. We got Pops Joe watching and so many more. Thank you for tuning into the Buccateers. Once again, we are here with rookie wide receiver Kaylon Geiger Sr. for about 25 more minutes as our guy, has to stay busy, has to stay on his grind for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this upcoming season. We do appreciate you finding time as always, my friend, and not only with the Buccaneers or whatnot, it could be from any point in time, could be college, could be pros or whatnot, but what player, I guess, has made the biggest impact on you personally? Who have you tried to model your game after, perhaps, or who has been your quote-unquote role model as far as a football player go?
I'll be selfish if I just say one person. You
can name multiple.
Give us a list.
I just give two, who I've watched the most. If I could put them together, I'll say that's me. Deshaun Jackson and Steve Smith. I watched those guys. I remember watching those guys from till the sun came up in my junior college dorm. You know what I mean? So I try to model my game after those two. And just try to.
Are you going to take number 11? Deshaun played here with the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I know, man. No,
I'm in the Saints in the Philly that year, man. He tore him up. You can go look at that old game.
All right,
yeah,
Kaylon,
for sure, man.
Answer that first, but then we got a question here.
Okay, yeah. No, I was just saying I'm gonna stick with the 80, man. I really like the 80.
Nice.
And how'd you land on that number? Any specifics?
Well, when I walked on junior college, they just gave me 81, and when I got here, they just gave me 80, so it really don't matter about the number, to be honest,
Right.
number don't make you
All
make
that
the number,
matters is that play, man. When you're making those plays, that's all that matters. Your name is what matters, man. But anyways, obviously 80 was OJ Howard, so goes from a pass catcher to a pass catcher, and he's in a new home this summer. He's out in Buffalo, and you're in Tampa. And Pops wants to know. Pops asks, what is his main personal goal he has set for himself this summer? So, do you have anything specific you want to accomplish this summer? What are your main goals, so to speak, before the summer ends here in a quick month or so?
Just make the team, man. I mean, that's that's the main goal. I want to help this team win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a part of that. I want to help. I want to contribute. So yeah, that's pretty much my main personal goal. Just to be able to help.
Yeah, and even the wide receiver room is top heavy, but there are chances and there are open spots on this roster. We've seen it last year. The Buccaneers really could have used some wide receiver depth down the playoff stretch, and nothing against some of our guys. I love all of our wide receiver room, but I really just feel like you could make an impact and you could make a difference. And I really hope you do get that well-deserved roster spot, and I'll be cheering for you week 3 preseason. I'll be in Indianapolis at that Bucks Colts game, so I'll be on the lookout for you, my man. I'll be watching for you to make some plays and bust your ass open. But what are you looking forward to most during the preseason? And
hold on, Tones. I was going to say, Kaylon, the biggest impact you can make is special teams. Our special teams have not been that good the last couple of years. And we need gunners. We need, we need a lot of help there. You know what I mean? If you look at a film, our special teams, we're not in the top 10 of the league. I put it like that. So that's one area that we need a lot of help.
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying, man. Like I said, I just want to contribute. Whatever it is, I'll play center. You know what I mean? So whatever it is I can do, man, I just want to contribute and help the team win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Well, getting you on the practice squad would do it here. And I can say we have a proud tradition here with undrafted receivers like Adam Humphries. If you look up his story, you remind me a lot of him. And I think you got a real shot here. But, you know what I mean? Because of your work ethic and your attitude, I think it's going to carry you. But, it's all about day to day. You know what I mean? It's all about day to day. And you got to show up every day to work.
Sure.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry.
No, you're good. And yeah, special teams, something you're used to, returning a little bit here and there last year for Texas Tech. We could surely use some help in the return game as well. But as you look forward to the preseason, you're going to be stepping on the field. Other NFL teams, other opponents, we know we have some practices with other teams lined up as well. But what are you most excited for stepping on the gridiron with these teams, and honestly just making it to the NFL level? Even it is preseason, but just playing in a game and getting to touch the water a little bit and smell the coffee.
Yeah, for sure. I would say I'm most excited about putting on that Buccaneers jersey, man, putting on that helmet and stepping out on the field with the guys I've been working with this whole time so far. You know what I mean? Getting, like you said, just getting a little taste of what's going on. That's what I'm most excited for. Just be able to represent the team.
Is there any game on the schedule that you're looking forward to the most?
The first one.
Dolphins, yeah. Hey, trust me, Dolphins Bucks is a rivalry. And you can look it up, man. We used to practice with them, and I think we are practicing with them this year. And Hardy Niggers and Warren Savage used to throw hands. They had to quit practicing with them back in the day. So you can look it up. That's a real rivalry in the Bucks lore. It's the Bucks Dolphins.
I remember last year too. It got a little chippy. I think Antonio Brown got in the middle of an interaction. So be careful out there.
That was the Titans last year. Yeah, their practices get chippy now. I'm gonna let you know. A couple years ago, when the practices were open to public, and we brought the Dolphins in, and one of their players we got into with the fans. I mean, it gets kind of rowdy out there. So one thing about it, it's a lot more on edge in the NFL. It's a rivalry to cut a little deeper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet, man. That's like I said, I came from junior college, so that's my type of party anyway.
Right, there you go.
I went to a junior college as well, my first year of college, and the
Yeah.
atmosphere is definitely a little different. Kind of feels like the in between step of college, and you still see a lot of high school folks because you sometimes. Well, I did because my JUCO was around me, but maybe not so much you. But what was it like? Because I heard the same thing. I heard a lot of people love playing sports at JUCO, and nowadays that's a great way to make the pro level. You start at JUCO, you get recognized there, you make your way through the system there. So how was it at a JUCO, and what did you enjoy about starting your career there for other potentials that might be thinking about starting their journey at a JUCO?
Yeah, man. I'm glad you asked that question, dude. Um,
Love my JUCOs, man.
yeah,
Gotta stand up
I
for 'em.
honestly feel like that's the best thing that could have happened to me, man. Cause it was just about football. You know what I mean? It was no cameras. It was no fans. It was just football. Like you gotta love football to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that was the main thing about junior college that just stuck out to me. It wasn't about the glamour or anything like that, man. It was all it was all you, that football, and your teammates. You know what I'm saying? Trying to win. Each and every week. So yeah, I miss it. I
Yeah,
miss it.
yeah, man, it's nitty gritty. I remember going to a couple of those games, and it's like, yep, these dudes are here to win. They're a brotherhood. None of them are playing for stats. They're playing for wins. They're playing, for each other. But then, boom, you play well enough, you get recognized. Next thing you know, you keep inching up the ladder. Troy, Texas Tech, Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Who knows what could be next for you?
Hey, let me jump
Pro
in real
Bowls.
quick.
Go
The
on.
one thing with JUCO is, it's very competitive. Like if you had asked Levante David where he played out in Kansas, they only give you 10 out of state scholarship. So he's a
Mm,
Florida boy. He got to, just to stay on the roster, he got to knock heads off, and make an impact quick. And that's
real
like the
talk.
NFL too. To stay on that roster, you got to make the impact quick. You got to knock heads off. You got to make plays. In the skill position, receiver aspect, you got to expose people out there, break the ankles and such. So as far as competitiveness and staying on the roster, it's very competitive. It's very the same because the Midwest JUCOs that bring the Florida boys up there because we don't have JUCO football in Florida. All right,
Mm,
HC, it's crazy, man. There's so much football talent you're going to see. Like Mike Clayton, who wore number 80 for the Bucks, he coaches out at Plant City High School. You'll see,
mhm.
man, these kids are you'll be like, dang, man, you can go somewhere. No, they don't go nowhere just because we don't have that system. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that Texas has that we don't have. We lose a lot of kids to the crowd, but of course, most of our best kids go play Ohio State and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I must say, man, that's one thing that JUCO does. It brings that competitiveness to stay on that roster. At least the
Sure.
Midwest JUCOs, like the ones that Levante David played for, etc.
For sure.
Yeah, and Kaylin, we got another question for you. This one from the Loose Cannons Leprechaun. Have you asked him his ring entrance music yet? So if you're on your way to the ring as a superstar, or let's pretend it's the NFL, if you're on your way out of the tunnel and you could pick one song, what are you rolling with on your way to the ring, my friend?
On my way to the ring, man, I got to roll with Erica Badu. That's
Yeah.
real. Yeah, Erica Badu, man. What's the song called, man? Didn't you know? Didn't you know? That's what it is. Didn't you know by Erica Badu? That's me.
Didn't you
Didn't
know?
it-
That's right. Hey, when you drop, 3 touchdowns on the Dolphins, be like, didn't you know? Shoot.
Hell yeah, gonna have to tap into that one a little bit and see what that's about. But that's great stuff right there. Cleve and me taps in. This is great stuff. Very classy. Good work, all. Thank you, Cleve and me, for the kind words. Loose Cat, the leprechaun chimes back in. He says he loves it, loves the answers. So, couple big fans of Didn't You Know. Can't wait to check it out. No
You
pun
got to put that
intended.
on the intro music, Big T.
Throw it on there, man. That's where it's
Hell
at.
yeah. I'm gonna tap that in. I'm gonna bring that song in. We're gonna fire that up in the intros for sure. There's no damn doubt about that. Especially with Kaylon Geiger Senior,
I
man.
like
This
this
is
next
the one and
question.
only.
Yeah.
What happened, Stunna?
I like this next question.
Yeah, which team do you pick in Madden and why? So, not sure if you're a gamer yourself. Madden obviously controversial but beloved football game for the game of football. A lot of people like it. A lot of people not so much. If you play it, or even if you don't, besides the Buccaneers, because obviously we know that you'd pick the Bucks and you'd run you'd run show with the Bucs. But who was your Madden team growing up, I guess, so to speak, and why would you pick that team to play with?
Growing up, man, it was Green Bay Packers, of course. Green
Oh,
Bay
and she
Packers.
will love that. Olivia will love that because that is my girlfriend, and she's a huge Green Bay Packer fan. So you're about to make her day right there, my friend.
But yeah, she knows what's going on. Yeah, that was my favorite team growing up. They got a big old G on the side of their helmet. So
Right.
yeah, so that's where I'm going with.
That's awesome, man. I'm literally I can't believe you said that. That's incredible. And obviously, they had a lot of good quarterbacks. They never really had a bad quarterback, since the Favre days and whatnot those days. So they've been having some beast running backs too, the Amon Greens of the world. Later on, they got guys like Cedric Benson's. They had some OGs in that backfield for sure. Leprechaun says loves it. Cleveland Me chimes in. Wide out, he loved watching growing up. One he looked up to, one he liked based off the speed. So you answered it a little bit earlier yourself, but if you had any other wide receivers besides Deshaun Jackson or a Steve Smith of the world, perhaps, anyone else come to mind? Maybe more so older wide receivers or newer wide receivers in the league? Because you gave two guys who grew up, a little bit ago in the NFL. Djax is still in it. But any newer guys or any older balls that are out of the league now catch your eye?
I would say I go both older and newer. If I go older, I would probably say Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
His routes are amazing. So and if I was to go newer, man, it's a lot of great guys in the league now. You know what I'm saying? I would have to go with Stephon Diggs.
Mhm.
I have to go with Stephon Diggs, man. It's just like the route running is amazing. So yeah, that's the biggest part of the game for a wide receiver. So they perfect that. So.
And I'm a big Stephon Diggs guy, like you said. His route running, his crafty ability, his ability to do just about anything as a wide receiver, and we're finally seeing his full potential here in Buffalo. So incredible to see Olivia. I told you she'd be happy. Heck yes, we get from that. So Kaylon making people's days on and off the field. Coming up here, we got about, let's see here, 14 minutes left in the show. So we're still here plugging away with Buccaneers rookie wide receiver Kaylon Geiger Sr. And we're about what? You guys report in a couple days, is that correct? Or are we like a week away from you guys reporting?
Yeah, this Friday we back at it.
Oh, wow. And go ahead, Stunna.
Is that a mini camp Friday or is that a report for training camp?
Yeah, it's a report for rookies.
Nice.
The rest of the team come a couple days later, but yeah, the rookies got to be here this Friday.
So if you've been deep in that playbook and for preparation, or have y'all been meeting and doing study hall, how's that coming along? Yeah,
for sure. Everybody pretty much went home, trained where they was training at and stuff like that. So I'm still here in Tampa. I've been going over the playbook, stuff like that. So yeah, ready for
pretty much at the next level gets a personal trainer.
Yeah.
That's where if you talk to Vita Veda, he said Sue's personal trainer and cook helped him out a lot when he had to overcome an injury during the Super Bowl run. So that's pretty much the way it goes. That's why I say give a TB12. They actually have something down in Soho. They have some pretty nice facilities down there to get into, and the additional, because like a lot of the guys, they work out with the Bucks and work out on their own.
Growing up, man, I never really had a personal trainer or anything like that, So it's definitely gonna be fun, you know what I'm saying, getting to get those connections with people and start to do stuff like that. So yeah.
So you connected with the best right there, CG12, man. Chris Godwin. Yeah, you see how he's coming back.
Man, I've been seeing him every day, man. He's been working.
Yeah, now he's known as one foe. I love Chris Godwin. You're very blessed. You got that wide receiver room with the Mike Evans, with the Chris Godwin. You got a lot of pros you could learn from. And LC Leprechaun says Packers beating Pats was the first Super Bowl I watched. Well, pretty entertaining there. So at least you got a good one. And some people get stuck with a Broncos Seahawks type of first Super Bowl or whatnot. So there you go. Pops has another question for you, Kaylon. What was the highlight game at Troy and same at Tech for memories? Was it playing Oklahoma State? Do you have other? I know you guys almost beat Baylor this year, and Baylor had an incredible year, in football and whatnot. So if you had to pick one memory from Troy, one
Mm-hmm.
memory from Texas Tech, what are the two that stand out to you?
At Troy, I would have to say Coastal Carolina, man. Coastal Carolina. I had some out for those guys for some reason. Either years, it was just Coastal Carolina. At Tech, I would say that Baylor game. It was the last game of the season. They was at the top of the ranks. It was kind of hitting me, like, dang, this is my last game at Tech. Kind of getting emotional. So, yeah, that Baylor game is something I'll never forget for sure.
And those are some incredible ones. Obviously, playing a team like Texas Tech, Baylor, that is certainly a big deal. And Troy, Coastal Carolina, you have a fellow UDFA Coastal Carolina wide receiver that you could talk to that game about, perhaps. So that'll be some fun conversation there as you get closer with the rookies, as you do some talking and whatnot. Have you had any convo about that game yet, or does that kind of get not talked about between the two of you?
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Like we are, like I was saying, we are pretty close. Like we all in the same boat. And we got that understanding. We help each other and stuff like that. So of course we had that conversation. I let them know, man, that was me. That was me. I apologize for what happened. But no, it was great. It's been great, dude. Like seriously. Yeah, Cam is a great guy. We talked about it. We actually seen each other at a Senior Bowl, a Tropical Bowl in Orlando. So I've been seeing him a couple of times before we got here, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's Cameron Brown, a good one. And how was the Senior Bowl, the Tropical Bowl, while you're at it?
It was a good experience, man. It was a lot of good guys there, It was a great experience.
Nice. We used to have the Shriner game here in Tampa.
Okay.
Game, but I think they quit playing it because Tropicana Field really isn't a good playing surface. So I don't know if they quit having the Shriner game here. And Tone and I like to go to the Senior Bowl sometimes and check it out as well. So those All-Star games are just another opportunity to get on film. But really the practices is what help out the most. And we had Ali Marpet come through here where he shined in the practices as well. Is there anything, as we report with rookies coming up, is there anything that you're looking forward to displaying that you've been working on this summer that may be an improvement? And then I wanted to know if you had any post-career plans. What do you plan on doing as far as a career in the future after football?
Right. Yeah, man. I think just coming back to camp, I just wanted to display my personality, man. It's easy to be nervous or timid. You know what I'm saying? Coming into a new situation. You know what I mean? So I just want to show my teammates, that we out here for a reason, man. And it's still, at the end of the day, it's still a game of football, and we're here to have fun, man. So just enjoy the time that we got. You know what I mean? So I think that's the main thing for me.
Let me throw in with that, Kaylon. I'm gonna tell you right now, the best way to display your personality, not necessarily with your teammates, but as the fans, is you sign autographs. You'll see guys like Mike Evans will sit out there and he'll sign autographs, and and he'll be the last one out there. He'll make sure, and this is Mike Evans now, you know what I mean? And he'll make sure that every single person gets that autograph. And we had Rojo here. He was a Texas guy. And, he used to slap hands, after touchdowns in the stands, and he really made himself endearing to the fan base. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, when you go to show that personality, definitely give it to the fans as well, because that's going to really make legend. And because we really look up to our players here in Tampa, like you see. And, we talked about charity earlier, man. If you go to some of these Buccaneer elementaries like Sulphur Springs or, Nucio Park and stuff like that, just hand out T-shirts, man. These kids will look up to you the rest of their lives. But go ahead. I wanted to hear about your what you plan on doing after football.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's something I look forward to doing. Yeah, after football, I want to have. Well, I'm going to have. I'm going to have a lot of things going on, man. I just want to dip and dab in everything. Any type of business. You know,
Okay.
any
Those
type of
days
business.
will come for you, man. You got time to think about that stuff too. You know, you got your time, and you're focused on the field. You know, we see, you know, guys get into business. You're gonna succeed, whatever you do. I'm sure coaching might be an option for you. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've ever.
actually, Vincent Jackson had a business. He had a restaurant downtown in Soho. He was a former Buccaneer wide receiver.
Get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Stuff like
But
that.
what I was saying is the Buccaneers have one of the biggest social media platforms. You know, you're on the Buccateers now. We have so many social media groups within the Bucks nation. If you look, a lot of our players are go into media afterwards. And I was going to say, man, Kaylon, you'd be perfect for the media world because of your personality. You know what I'm saying, and how inviting you are, and how you keep the conversation moving. So I would definitely like to recommend, you know, to look into media, because a lot of ex-Buccaneer players really make it big. You know, John Lynch went through that route. He was a commentator. You'll meet Rondé Barber. He does the preseason here. He does the Buccaneer stuff in the Buccaneer social media. So there's a lot of opportunities there, and I just wanted to throw that out there. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, our buddy Loose Cannons Leprechaun says football and football only. Kate, there's something besides football, and he ends it with, "I'll be at camp. He'll be at camp, Bucks Junior Day 8-3. Better see some hustle." Smiley face. I'm sure you ain't gonna disappoint with the hustle aspect of it. That's for damn sure. And as you guys know, we are here for about 5 more minutes with Kaylon Geiger Sr. And we were talking earlier in today's show about the Coastal Carolina Troy game being a memory. Geiger had 103 receiving yards that game, and as he torched Coastal Carolina. And then last year as well, you had back-to-back 100-yard games against Florida International. Our boy Anthony Gator is a quality control coach over there right now. Thank God he wasn't there yet, or he might have had a heart attack as you did that to his defense. And then against Texas, you had a 100-yard performance as well. So what's so special about these 100-yard games and performances? And, you know, what gives you – I know at the end of the day it's team goals, but it is always awesome getting that yard marker of a century. What does that feel like for you?
It feel pretty good, man. I mean, it's just a good game. You know, the ball was on me. You know, it was my game. You know, so you just contribute. I did my part. You know, I mean, it really wasn't nothing else to it. I mean, I'm just trying to win.
Yeah, and we do have some other friends of the show watching. Paul Chin and Brad Thompson. Coach Brad Thompson's a Bills fan. He says Diggs exclamation point. So you're making a lot of people happy with who you're choosing tonight. We got Kevin Waters saying go Bucks. Olivia chimes back in, agreed. He has a great radio voice. So a lot of people are you know, barring for you to you know, you're going to have a long playing career. Let's not get that twisted. After your days of playing are done, you hang up the cleats, you get in the broadcast booth, or even just podcasting in general, as we see that's such a big thing nowadays with ex-athletes. Have you ever thought about perhaps doing both at once? We see that's a thing nowadays, podcasting and playing, or is that something you're going to consider down the road and you're just focused on the gridiron right now?
Yeah, I'm just focused on the gridiron right now, but it's definitely something I want to dip and dab into, you know, trying to learn my way around the camera and whatnot, stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely intriguing, you know, but yeah, I'm just focused on football right now.
Absolutely, and we are a few short weeks away from football. So what's one thing you have been doing away from the team every day that you can say you think is outside the box thing, or, you know, something that you just do that's part of your routine that helps you get through the days until you get back to training camp, you know, help you keep your football brain and help you keep in shape perhaps?
Meditation, man.
Yeah, that's been the key to this episode, man. I got to start meditating, get some moves
You
going.
might need
man.
acupuncture.
Yeah, I need a lot more than acupuncture, man. That's what I'll need. Yeah, I got to get meditating. What are some or how did you start meditating? Or for people that are interested in getting into meditation, what's one thing you could tell them that's a good stepping stone in the right direction?
I would just say make a comfortable space, you know, preferably outdoors, you know, in nature, you know, and just sit with yourself, and sit with yourself, ask yourself questions, just close your eyes and just think about life, silence your mind, wonder why you do what you do, talk to your body, stuff like that, you just clear your mind, you know what I mean? Like, I think, and now in today's society, I don't think we do that enough, with so much stuff going on in the world, you never really get that time to just quiet your mind. So I think that's important.
Yeah, Stunna. Any more last minute questions? We're already almost reaching an hour now. I do think, meditation, clearing the mind is important. We got so much bullshit to deal with nowadays, man. It's just, the news, all negative Nancy nowadays, all sad. But that's why meditating seems like a great thing. Help you keep your head on the right track. Help just keep living, man. I tell people all the time, every day I could wake up and put on a pair of pants is a good day, because it's a crazy world out there nowadays. So, Stunna, any last questions you have for Kaylon before we let him say his closing statements and bounce out of here?
No, I definitely say that I can see how meditation helps with the stamina and the body healing. You can definitely target your trouble areas that way, and in the NFL training table, you're going to stay on top of that anyway. We mentioned the problems of society, and I think one of the cures is heroes. And one thing about it is, if you play for the Buccaneers, you're going to be a hero in this community. And so what you do is you have to make those impacts, and you impact the youth, and you just tell them that it's okay, to be a teammate, and that we need teammates, and that we're all teammates in our community, just like the Buccaneers are teammates, on the football field. And just like you said, I can't score a touchdown if we get a holding call. We got to work together. I can make a highlight reel and there's penalties all over the field, which you're going to get with the Buccaneers because referees hate us. That's another story. But you could do your part, and I'm glad that you want to be active, because I think that you're really going to fall in love with the Tampa community. And I will say there's a lot of opportunities. It's kind of like sorority fraternities. They have opportunities in the real world. The same thing with the Buccaneers. Once a buck, always a buck. And once you put on that Buccaneer helmet, and once you wear that, Buccaneer varsity vest, basically, you're going to be an impact in this community and nationwide. Because we, as Tones, man, we got Buccaneer fans all over. You're going to see that. You're going to be like going to Arizona. You're going to see a bunch of Bucs fans. You're like, dang, where these guys come from? I'm in Arizona. But we really have a national/world following. We have UK fans. You're going to see we got an international game this year.
Germany.
In Germany, you're going to be a bunch of Germany people that love the Bucs. You're like, what the heck? But that's just the impact we have, because football is a very special sport, and that it takes heart and character to win. You know what I mean? Nothing's gifted, and nobody's going to give you that victory. You're going to have to go take the victory from people. I used to tell them you got to pull it out of their heart, because they're not going to just give up that they're just going to take an L. Nobody's going to just take an L. They're going to want to W. So it's that extra effort that it takes, and that makes you courageous. That makes you a hero. That makes you someone to be admired. And with that, like Spider-Man, there's a great responsibility in our community that you got to fill out. And I think they do a great job at the Buccaneer schools, like Sulphur Springs, Nucio Park. You just visit them schools and hand out T-shirts, man. The look those kids will give you on their face is going to be something that'll last a lifetime. And you're going to be a hero in this community forever. And I think that you have, that kind of opportunity with us. And I'm very, proud of what you've done in your career. I don't know if there's a recruiting issue in high school. I can imagine it would be, but you've overcome so much, and you fought so hard to get on rosters before, that this is just going to be one more struggle, in your ultimate chapter in life. And I think that you're going to do so much here as both a football player and as a leader in our community. And Buccateers, we're behind you, and we definitely want to encourage you on the way. And anything we can do to promote you, to get you the resources you need, we're there for you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Much love.
Total love. You're gonna see the love. You'll never see the love like when you come out on that field and you hear them fires cannon. We say fire the cannons around here, man. When you hear them cannons go off, it's like, it feel like you feel like a pirate storming the stores with Jose Gaspar. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gonna feel like. So go
Fire
ahead.
fire the damn cannons. That's what I like to say around here. We have a couple more comments to wrap up before I get my closing statement, then we get Kaylon Geiger Sr.'s last words here on the Buccateers. Cleveland Me says, I wish this dude the best. God bless, and cheering for him. So thank you, Cleveland Me. I think we're all big Kaylon Geiger Sr. fans. Loose Cannon Leprechaun really wants you to stick on the field. He said, no podcast, stick with ball. Thanks for talking to us. So that's awesome, man. I met Loose Cannon Leprechaun at the Arians Family Foundation golf out, and he is the man. He's a huge Bucks fan. He's a season ticket holder. He's one of those fans that Stunna says, we'll show you the love, we'll show you the support, we'll show you the warmth. So, and then we got Bucks Life chiming in. Let's go. So a lot of excitement going on right now. I think everyone's kind of itching, kind of smelling football being in the air. So many people are just so excited. We do have another question here real quick from Facebook before we get to more. Brad asks, going from a star wide receiver to UDFA, special teams is the first opportunity. How do you adjust to taking on that different role in year 1 and 2? So we talked a little bit special teams earlier. Are you doing anything different to try and dip into special teams, or are you kind of just playing your game? I know we talked about special teams a little bit to this point.
Yeah, man. I never got the chance to play gunner before, so this is a great opportunity for me to do something, step outside of something that I've never done. You know what I'm saying? So obviously returner, anything, man. Like, I'm just up for any challenge, so like I said, it's exciting, man. I get to showcase what I got, everything, my heart, I get to put my heart out there, and see what happens.
And I love it. And we also have Billy Green from Boston watching. Billy from Boston, thanks for tuning into the Buccateers. So as we kind of wrap up here, I looked through this list. I see these type of names: Wes Welker, Marion Motley, Drew Pearson, Chris Harris, Priest Holmes, Brian Waters, Jason Peters, Larry Little. There's a lot of Hall of Famers. Priest Holmes, Adam Vinatieri, a lot of Pro Bowlers, Hall of Famers on this list: James Harrison, Rod Smith. One thing these guys all have in common, I mean, Antonio Gates, Tony Romo, I could keep going on and on, John Randall, Cornell Green, Cliff Harris, Austin Eckler, Josh Wells, your teammate, Aaron Stinney, your teammate, Warren Moon, for crying out loud. All these guys have in common, they're all undrafted free agents, right?
Yes,
So everyone starts somewhere. And it's really what you make of your opportunity, and not only your first opportunity, what you continue to do. Because one of your teammates, a guy like Cam Brate, he started off as a UDFA on the Buccaneers, and then they cut him. He goes to the Saints for a couple weeks. He doesn't even play a snap with the Saints. They cut him. The Bucs bring him right back. What does he go on to do? Be one of the more reliable tight ends that the Bucs had in their history. He never gave up. He kept bouncing around, stuck to his grind, stuck to his guns, and really just kept going and motoring. And all these guys have a high motor. We know you have that high motor. So I think that's really something that people label NFL players and athletes too much with is, what round were they taken in? Where did they come from? Were they undrafted? It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, it's what you do on the field and off the field that separates yourself from the rest of the pack. And as you said throughout this podcast, you're there, you guys are doing things for the military. You hope to get a chance to do good work for a charity event soon and whatnot. And you're meditating and staying in football shape, and you continue to bust your hump and do these great things and help build your great character. And as you've seen the comments from all these people commenting, just from this podcast, they know how great of a guy you are, and how well motivated you are, and how good of a blessing it is that you are on the Buccaneers for both on and off the field purposes. So I guess I just want to take this time and say we appreciate all your hardships and efforts to this point, and what you're going to put into not only the Bucs in the future, but the National Football League. And not only that as well, but the community of Tampa, the city of Tampa, and wherever else your future playing endeavors or post-playing endeavors may lead. You're going to be a star on and off the field, and we hope it's here in Tampa for a very long time. I don't hope. I know that you're going to make it. I know that you're going to be.
At least 10 years, after that.
Yeah, after that, we'll let you enjoy retirement. Maybe we might ask you to pull a Tom Brady and spend 40 days away, and then decide to come back, or maybe Gronk decides to do that. His girlfriend has hinted at that as so. So you never know who's in, who's out. Retiring, just a game nowadays, anyways. But we hope you're here for a very long time, making impacts both on the field and in the community, Mr. Kaylon Geiger Sr. And you see these guys on my wall. I got Josh Wells. I got Levante David. I got Mike Evans. So I hope your name ends up here very soon, my friend. That would be awesome to, have your name up on the walls. I got Elstott, Simeon Rice, Cam Bray. I got all the legends, going down the line. So nothing would be better than to having the opportunity to watch you play, produce for the Bucs, and then having Kaylon Geiger Sr. represented in the Man Cave. So, my friend, we very much appreciate you here. We're going to, as Stunna said, you need anything, we're here for you, man. We hope to talk to you throughout the season and far, far beyond as well. So, never hesitate to reach out, my friend. I hope, I'll be hitting you up before the Colts game. Hopefully, I'm front row, can maybe talk to you a little bit, could ask you some questions and link up and see how things are going. So, I really hope that could happen as well. Are there any other words or advice? And I mean, believe me, I have 5 regular season games on the docket as well. So you're going to be seeing a lot of me, hopefully, my friend, and we'll be seeing a lot of you. And, whether it's in the stat sheets or in the community, you're going to be contributing for the Tampa community for the better. And we're all firm believers in that. Are there any last words or any last things you want to say? Feel free to take as little or as long as you want here. The floor is yours for any last thoughts or words on the Buccateers podcast before we let you get back to your busy life and your beautiful family.
I just want to say, man, I appreciate the opportunity, man, talking to both of you guys. I had a great time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Buccateers, man. Continue to watch these guys. They're some great guys, man. Much love.
Yeah, and we know that we do appreciate those words, and like I said, we got some other OGs lined up throughout the season. But you're our first player this year, man, so that is awesome. We have a couple other ones lined up. We got Anthony Gator, former Buccaneer, FIU, lined up. But before we let you bounce out of here, before you log off, one more time, could we get one more Kaylon Geiger? You're listening to the Buccateers podcast. That would be awesome, my friend.
Of course, man. This is Kaylon Geiger, and you're listening to the Buccateers podcast.
Thanks so much. And actually, it's pretty cool because Madden Underground comments that good luck to him. And he's actually, we got another, the next one ain't live, but after this, I'm taking a little break. Then we got a Madden show coming up with Madden Underground. And it's pretty cool. I don't know if you still play Madden, but Madden Underground creates leagues. And, a couple Bears players and NFL players join together and actually join Madden Underground's league. So if you ever need a Madden league and you want to play with some other NFL players, my friend, you want to be able to play or talk with some other guys around the league, I'll get you in touch with Madden Underground and we can make that happen.
For sure, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, again, Kaylon, we can't thank you enough, man, and good luck this upcoming season. And I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll see you in Indianapolis, that's for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks again, brother. We appreciate you for everything you've done. And that was Kaylon Geiger Sr., ladies and gentlemen. He joined the show, and it's been fantastic, Stunna, having a guy like Kaylon on, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's great. It's great introspect, man, because some of these kids, they're like, you can make it to the NFL. All you have to do is stay at it. You know what I mean? Here you got Kaylon. He dealt with so many things along the way, and even not being drafted, but he stayed at it. And he told you why. He loves the game of football. He loves the team aspect of football. He loves being part of a group, and he loves to accomplish great things. And everybody loves to win. So I think he's an inspiration for anybody that's maybe doubting the recruiting process at the high school level. If they're maybe doubting their draft prospect at the next level, you just stick at it, and eventually good things will happen as long as your character and your attitude is in line, with being a winner.
Yeah, and I think that's so important that you mentioned that, because Kaylon is a guy who has a huge passion for the game. You don't see that with a lot of rookies nowadays. You see a lot of players or people take the easy way out, not just in football, but in life in general. And when things get tough, a lot of people jump off board. But here's Kaylon Geiger Sr., a guy who went to Texas Tech last year, helped them out ever so much, was their leading offensive snap man besides offensive lineman. And if you guys know the game of football, if you somehow beat an offensive lineman in the snap count, that means there's likely something wrong with that offensive lineman. So Kaylon Geiger Sr. had 616 snaps offensively for Texas Tech last year, and he helped mentor a younger program into a bigger thing, into a bigger role. And you've seen it pay off, right? Because at the end of the year, a team that was struggling a little bit here and there took a team like Baylor, who almost went on to do big things in the college football playoffs. They played in a prominent bowl game. A guy like Kaylon Geiger Sr. led all those young guys and all those other guys at Texas Tech to really play to their best ability, really give it their all. They pushed a team like Baylor to their last limits, to their last legs. And really, it just kind of goes to show the growth and progression of Texas Tech last year with the leadership of Kaylon Geiger Sr. as Billy Green shines in. Yeah, buddy. And what he was able to do for that football program. So I'm very much so looking forward to seeing him do the same thing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, take those guys and elevate their play to the next level, make us into one of those teams, with durable weapons, durable people, seeing his face on the field, all of that fun stuff. So, Stunna, that's pretty much all I have. You have anything else before we bounce out of here? Warm or cool off our vocals for a little bit and then bust into things in about 30, 40 minutes or so with Madden Underground.
Nah, man, I love the following. You know what I'm saying? I love the enthusiasm in the community, and Buccateers doing great things. And we're gonna continue to grow the social media platform into its utmost potential. And it's just another A+ podcast. But everyone outside and Bucks Nation needs to stay tuned, because I really think this is our year to hoist that trophy, man. We got to win the Super Bowl. When you have a team like this, you can't squander that, because you come short. Like I tweet out something about the '98 Vikings, man. They had that great team. They came short, and what did they do since then? They ain't done nothing since then. So we've had our down years, and it's time for us to enjoy the success. And we really got to win the Super Bowl this year to take advantage of the roster we put together.
Yeah, I totally agree. We got to take advantage. We got to keep making moves, and we got to keep doing our thing. We have the roster to compete. We got these guys, new bodies in, new free agents in, new rookies in, like Kaylon himself and others, to help us do so and compete. And like you said, continue to grow the following, continue to grow the culture, and continue to do the most and represent the city of Tampa in the great sports trend that this city has been on for the past handful of years. And no one better to help us represent the city of Tampa, in my opinion, especially after tonight, than Buccaneers wide receiver number 80, the new number 80, the race of the place, the man with the fast feet. He'll burn you in a race, he'll burn you on the gridiron, and he'll also run routes that'll make your jaw drop and make you wow. No one better to do it than our friend of the show now. I hope you can sit. I swear there's more of us too. You see me and Stunna now. You see me and Stunna in every episode. Well, our other co-hosts are coming, the off season, and they disappear. But we got the Calvary on the way.
And we got more guest hosts scheduled too. So
yep, that's
don't
right.
Even worry about it. This thing gonna grow like it's gonna be like a train down the track. So you can't stop that train from coming.
Yep,
so don't worry about it. Whoever you see on here, we're gonna have more guest speakers. We're gonna have more, guest situations. We're gonna have more live events. So just chill, y'all.
Yep, we're going to have Anthony Gator, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer and Florida International Quality Control Coach. We're going to have Tom Ponzo from WDAE. I hope to get Tom Ponzo at least from WDAE. or formerly with them. He was the man over there. We have Jake Chahimiak lined up. He sets up autograph signings and memorabilia deals with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers themselves and whatnot. We have Madden Underground lined up as well, and we're very excited for that one. So just a plethora of great guests. Host of Cleve and me, Joe, before the Colts game. So laundry list of guests, laundry list of co-hosts, and you'll see Stunna and me here the whole time. Once again, guys, we were with fantastic rookie wide receiver Kaylon Geiger Sr., and it was incredible, ladies and gentlemen. We were very honored to be with him. We hope to be with him again, and we'll see you guys here in the near future on the Buccateers podcast. You can keep up with us on Twitter at Buccateers, Instagram, Buccateers Pod, YouTube, Buccateers Podcast, Facebook, Bucks Life News LLC. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, and so much more. This has been another blessed episode of the Buccateers Podcast. Until next time, this is Tampa Tones. That was Stunner, and that was our man, Kaylon Geiger Sr. Really an incredible guy that we look forward to talking to again in the near future. This has been episode 74 of the Buccateers. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was just ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucks.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little.
No, my camera's broke.